what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day as of right now, or your nights, your afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. Basically, I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly the outreach strategy that I've personally used to essentially increase my clientele, increase more lead flow, without spending a dime on ads, right? So without further ado, let's just pretty much straight jump into this here. So the first, obviously, the biggest thing for me is building out a LinkedIn, okay? Now, I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly step-by-step on how to build your profile, building your bio, your descriptions, exactly the posts, articles, like exactly like the method on how to actually get leads coming in from LinkedIn, right? So first of all, we're gonna start with your portfolio or your profile. Obviously, people are not going to want to buy or trust you if you have a blank profile. So I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how to build that, all right? So, sorry, I haven't drank water like all day, but basically what you wanna do is let's start off with the banner. Now, your banner is essentially supposed to make sure that you're explaining exactly what you do. Not pitching them, but briefly describing what you are doing, right? So for example, this is my banner. Get the exact systems you need to grow built out in 2 weeks, guaranteed. Now it's essentially telling people, hey, what are the systems? It's creating curiosity. In 2 weeks, like what exact systems is this guy building in 2 weeks for me? That's guaranteed. Right? So it's creating curiosity, but at the same time, it's essentially telling them and letting them know that, oh, this guy builds out systems for business owners or builds out systems for people, right? After that, profile picture, you want to make sure you have a good profile picture. This could be better, but obviously you want to at least have your face in it, right? If it's blurry, if it's pixelated, that's not a good sign. You need to make sure that it's a professional photo, or just a photo of your face in general with a good background, right? After that, you want to make sure that you have your business name, and then your education in here. Most people lie about it, but it doesn't really matter. I've seen people put in like Harvard and they've never even attended Harvard. Your name, obviously you want to make sure that your name, and then you want to make sure that you have the verified badge next to it, because people who are verified tend to get a little bit more traction and tend to get a little bit more trust, because the profile is verified and it's a real person and not a bot. After that, you want to make sure that you have a profile bio, so your first name, last name, headline of exactly letting people know exactly what you're doing. Like I mentioned here, creating revenue ready systems, CEO of Ascendius agency. I help business owners, or I help owners. I should put in business, right? So business owners implement proven systems into custom software in under 10 days. 1,000 plus systems implemented, right? So that's essentially what you want to do. After that, you can also put in, also make sure that you have your contact information in here as well, your website and your email. And then you also want to make sure that you have 500 plus connections. If you have 500 plus connections, it's a good sign and people can trust you better. Don't worry about the analytics here. About me, you don't overcomplicate it. I just put this here if you guys want to kind of like copy it, but search it up in your own words and your own terms in terms of like your business, then you guys can, but make sure not to overthink the about page. After that, you can put in like any specific skills that you have, like leadership, communication, public speaking. Like I said, don't worry about it. It's not really a big thing to worry about. After that, you want to put in feature things. So what you can do here in the featured is put in like a link, any type forms, any specific things, like a booking calendar as well for people to book on. So for example, let's say they want to book on with me, they just click here and it's going to redirect them into this calendar. If they want to kind of like get a little more clarity on how this works, they can choose this link. It's going to send them over to a landing page as well. If they want to essentially fill out the type form, and if they're pretty curious, they could just click this link and then it's going to redirect them into a type form right here. Now, in terms of activity, the only things you should worry about is like posts and articles. Now, articles are very important for people to look at when they want to get a little more clarity. For example, I have 6 articles at the moment. People can go through. If I click on the article, it's going to essentially tell them everything right here, right? So it's pretty much an article. Now, if I come back, view profile, and if I go into my posts, it's just going to be like specific posts right here, right? So like operating optometry practice. So being more generic, 21 impressions, not good, but could be better. There's other ones like my article right here. It's gotten 60 impressions. That's pretty good for where I'm at. Let me see. I'm not too sure why it's not going. Okay. This one's 15 impressions. This is just kind of like a link to my article on Substack. 62 impressions on here, which is pretty good. 38 impressions, 78 impressions right here. 39 impressions, 30 impressions. You know, you can essentially see like the impressions and how well it's actually, the posts are performing, right? The reason why you want to essentially post as well is, and don't be posting like videos all the time. It's good to like post just generic, like worded posts, like, you know, for example, if you're running a chiro clinic and spending hours on admin, you know, you're being specific already from the jump, and then pretty much, you know, acknowledging like a problem that most clinics might have, like spending hours on admin, which is a common problem, and then just pretty much, you know, making sure that you write a post about this pertaining to that, right? And at the end, you want to make sure you, you know, you type in, you message, or you type in something like this, where it's like, type XYZ and, you know, connect with me, and I'll personally send you a full diagnostic. When people do comment down on your posts, people will essentially, or that's when you can essentially reach out, because they are giving you a bit of interest on like what it exactly is that you're essentially offering and what you posted about, right? And how you've helped other people. Now, since that is out the way, we're gonna come back into portfolio or profile. Like I said, you can put in your experience, your education, your skills. Recommendations, you don't really need to worry about that. I mean, this is just a recommendation from one of my clients that I asked for when I first began. Languages, don't really worry about that, and then interests, don't really have to worry about that, right? Now, essentially, in terms of how to actually get clients, let's say you have your profile set up and you actually have all of this optimized. What you're gonna do is come into My Network, scroll down, and you should see connection buttons right here. Now, it's best to have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but in this specific video, I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how to connect with people and get clients without spending a dime on anything, okay? But I would recommend definitely going to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, since it's gonna show you exactly like, you know, what type of clients they are, what type of prospect it is, when they've recently posted on LinkedIn as well. The more recently, the more recently they are active on LinkedIn, right? And that's what you essentially want. You want people who are active on LinkedIn, because they're gonna see the connection request and they're going to see you essentially sending them messages, right? So how this is gonna work is, like I said, come in a network. Once you have your profile pretty much figured out, you come here and you go into show all, and you're able to connect with them. Now, when you do connect with them, do not hit their profile and connect with them and send them a message. If you send them a message for the connection invite, it's gonna sound salesy. It's gonna look pretty salesy. It's gonna look like you're trying to pitch them something. So all you need to do is just come here, hit connect, and that's literally all you do. So connect, you know, you can connect with, this right here, you know, boom, connect, and that's all you do. Now, I'm not gonna, you know, spend my time just connect with everyone here, but you guys get the idea. Now, once you've connected with them, all you need to do is just pretty much wait. And when they do accept your connection, you're gonna come into connections. As you can see, I have 961 connections right now at the moment. And all you're gonna do is essentially message them, right? So I do have a separate, I do have a separate video on how to actually connect with them by sending them messages. I do have a 7-day sequence. So this is exactly how it's gonna work, right? Now, obviously, let's assume you're done with the profile. Let's say they click on your profile and they want to book on with you directly. All you need to do is just come in here, and then you can just pretty much add a section. You can add in like the website as well. That way people can just pretty much click your website and pretty much go from there, right? So let's come back to the network and let's go into messages. Now, how you're essentially going to send the messages is this, right? So let's say we're going to use Marissa or Dr. Schaffer as an example. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come into messages, boom, come into this right here, and I'll put this, if you guys want, I can put this into a link where you guys can just pretty much copy and paste everything here. But what you're gonna do is just come here, and this is day one. So day one is, hey name, or hey David, glad to connect, curious, what part of my work or profile caught your attention? Now, the reason why you want to say this is because it doesn't sound salesy, and it sounds like you're just genuinely trying to connect with them, right? And you're curious about their profile. and you want to ask them what exactly made them curious about connecting with me back, right? So that's day 1. Let's say they don't respond. Day 2. I know you didn't ask for it, but I made you a quick personal diagnostic explaining our process, and you just include a link explaining your process, right? Could be a webinar, could be anything, could be a video. I just put a Loom because it sounds a little bit more, or it seems a little bit more personal when they do watch the video, right? After that, day 3, if they don't respond, touching base with you. Did you get a chance to check out what I sent over? If they didn't, totally fine. And if they don't respond, you go into day 4. Hey, David, here's a few case studies, and you send them over a few case studies as well, right? After that, if they don't respond, day 5, what were your thoughts on the case studies I sent over? Question mark. Now, again, if they don't respond, you come down, let me know, or day 6, let me know when you've got the chance to see it. Here's another diagnostic, explain a few of how our services work, and you send them another resource with you explaining your processes and your systems. Now, if they don't respond, okay, that's totally fine. Day 7, just leave it there. Say, last note for me, David. Let me know if it's worth a quick chat. If not, I'll close the loop on my end. You do not want to exceed over 7 days. Some people do 7 to 8 days. But most of the time, just do 7 days, because after a week, if they don't respond, they're not interested, or sorry guys, my camera died, or they just died. So that's essentially how it's going to work, right? So if I come back into LinkedIn, you see how I put in that, and if I come back into my older ones like Amanda, you can literally see like, look, she hasn't responded, boom, boom, and boom. I sent all these resources, but she still hasn't responded. She still hasn't even seen these messages. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to get clients on LinkedIn with this strategy. But for me, I've personally used this strategy, and it's worked for me beautifully. So if you guys want any specific tips, any specific ways to get more clients, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys sign your first client, and you guys let me know.